I'm Ellie Spada in the studio with Lisa Michelangelo, and she is a physical therapist and the executive director of Emerald M Therapeutic Riding Center. Good morning, and thank you for being here.
Good morning, Ellie. Thank you for having us.
You tell us about the riding center itself.
5 years ago, I had started this, I guess you would call it a ministry. I really wasn't sure where it was headed, but I wanted to combine my love and passion for physical therapy with my love of horses. So I took some continuing education in hippotherapy, and the program began. Again, I wasn't real sure where it was going to head, but hippotherapy is basically a modality used by physical therapists, occupational therapists, and speech therapists, using the horse's movement for means of rehabilitative goals.
Did you ride horses before this? Did you grow up with horses?
Okay, so my family was into horse racing, harness racing to be exact, in Ohio. So very different than what I'm doing now. However, my daughters got into horses at a very young age and started riding. And after about 10 years of investing in that and being a part of that with them, then I decided to combine it into my occupation as well. So,
when you were training as a physical therapist, did you learn about the hippotherapy?
I didn't even know it existed.
I didn't either.
Didn't even know it existed,
Okay.
Unfortunately. However, now it's become much more on the map and on the radar. So I really didn't know much about it until about a year before I decided to do it. Someone had just said, "Hey, have you ever heard of this?" And I said no, and then researched the education to do so.
Okay, so where is Emerald M Therapeutic Riding Center located?
We are located in Brooksville, Florida. The first 2.5 years of our program was in Dade City on a 5-acre property. Once the organization went non-for-profit in 2016, things really started to amp up. So we actually relocated last year to Brooksville, Florida on a 20-acre farm.
Oh, wow. Okay. How many horses?
We have 11 right now that are servicing the program.
All righty. So tell us about a typical day on the farm. Is there a typical day on the farm?
It's never typical. That's for sure. You're always adapting to changes and fun stuff. The biggest portion of our program is primarily children with disabilities, autism, cerebral palsy, spina bifida, muscular dystrophy, etc. So a typical day is usually every hour we are servicing a child. Our horses are servicing a child. We also offer Gold Star family retreats as well as military veteran retreats for the mental health piece of our program.
So in the retreat, you offer them, they stay at the complex?
No, they do not. No,
okay.
They do not.
Oh, it's a day retreat?
It's a day retreat.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been offering that?
We've been working with military veterans for the last 3 years. And just recently, the end of 2018, did we start with our Gold Star families.
And how did that come about?
We were partnering with an organization, a veteran organization, who decided to have a week-long retreat for Gold Star women. We provided their equine therapy portion of that retreat, which is how Dee ended up in our facility.
And Dee is a guest here as well. We'll hear from her in just a moment. Okay, go ahead.
So Dee ended up coming through the program and then never left, which we're really grateful for, really grateful for. And she actually helped us create our own personal Women's Gold Star retreat in April of this year.
Now I've got on the mic, I have Dee Mills, and she is a Gold Star mom and also a volunteer at the Emerald M Therapeutic Riding Center.
So the reason I never left is because I fell in love with everything about Emerald M, and I saw what a fantastic camaraderie the Gold Star moms had in a very relaxed environment, a very positive environment. It's truly God's country at Emerald M. That's what we call it. And as we were riding home in the van from that day at Emerald M, all of the mothers were talking about what a difference it made, and they found a place within themselves that they hadn't known for a long time. It really centered them into who they were. And we all walked away with that. So because I live near Emerald M, I was dedicated to volunteer there from that point on, and I love being there. I love everything about it.
Will you define a Gold Star mom for us, for our listeners?
A Gold Star mom is someone who has lost a child in combat.
And so then the retreat offered then is for the moms to...
For healing, for us to have the camaraderie, which is a very important piece of healing. because it's, less than 1% of our population has even served our country during this campaign. So few people even know what a Gold Star Mother is, much less the cost of freedom. So it's very important for us to have each other.
When you volunteer, so as a volunteer, you set up, did I hear that correctly? You set up the retreat schedule for the other moms?
Well, in all honesty, we prayed a lot about it.
Because it's a work in progress.
And yes, it was. And I knew the siblings in the Gold Star families were really left out of most everything. So that was a very important part for me to make happen. Mm-hmm. So we had mothers and sisters, and I honestly prayed about it, and God led me how to arrange that whole day, and it was incredible. We just saw him. He really showed up. God really showed up.
Did you know how to ride horses before this?
I've ridden, but it's really not about the riding aspect of the horse. It's about the spirituality of the horse that I connect most with.
And you think the other moms as well? Are they intimidated by the horses when they first get there?
Well, it's interesting because Lisa lets you pick your horse, and it's amazing how that all works, but usually it's a key component to it. They make you live in the moment, and that is what is such a missing part for people who have been through trauma is you're either in the past or seeking a future, and you're missing the right now. And the horses live in the moment, so they teach us how to do that.
Are they that intuitive?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. They know if you're afraid. They know if you're nervous. And you have to check yourself on all those things. So, and that's where we go wrong, is we're just floating around on this earth and not really doing self-check and figuring out where are we in the whole scheme of things. So, yes.
Lisa, back to you. So how do you pick the horses?
Ooh, most of our horses come as second careers. So a lot of them have been show horses. They have had prior jobs to us and either maybe have not been able to continue that job due to their age, due to their health, due to their owner just can't afford them anymore, what have you. So God sends our horses to us, particularly for their reason and our reason. They are our four-legged angels, and without them, Emerald M can't do what it does.
How do you cover the vet bills?
So we run primarily on donations, grants. Mm-hmm. It's a very expensive thing to keep those doors open. On the days when it gets really tough, God shows up and something ends up in the mail, and it's really fantastic. But without them, we can't do what we do.
All right. So now I'm also in the studio with Brianna, and Brianna is 19 years old. She is a participant at the Emerald M Therapeutic Riding Center. So Brianna, good morning.
Good morning.
Tell us about a typical day for you at the riding center.
Well, actually, how this all started, it's a funny story how I ended up meeting them. But, like, when I was younger, one day I was riding a pony, and at that time I was, like really scared of horses. So it was kind of like a God thing how that happened, because, honestly, when I talk to people about it and how I ended up there, they're so in shock, because when I tell them the story, they're like, oh my gosh. But so for me, I would say I work on my core and my core strength and getting my muscles in my legs stronger. But also for me, I feel like it's also a big part mentally for me, because not only does it help like with my physical aspect, but also it helps with my mental aspect, because when I'm on the horse, it's such an amazing feeling, and it's crazy because the moment I get on the horse and I start connecting with the horse, my mind immediately goes at peace, and I kind of am able to escape from reality from a sense and just focus on what me and my horse are doing. And there is a horse at Emerald M named Rambo that I ride primarily, and we're just like best friends, and he has really I might get emotional, so bear with me. but he has really changed my life.
No, that's good. When you're on the horse, are you connecting with the movement of the horse?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of what that would be like. Okay.
Because with horses, it's all about their gait, and when you're on the horse and they're moving, your body kind of follows their gait and the way they walk. So when I'm on the horse, it kind of puts me in the right position, because with the saddle that we use, it's kind of molded for your body and stuff. So you're kind of able to not fall into it, but like mold into the seat, I guess. And it helps me keep my core strong as well. So
that's really neat. So when you're on the horse too, are you able to enjoy kind of what you see in nature? Are you able to get, is that a special feeling? I would imagine it is.
Yeah, it's actually an amazing feeling, because with my cerebral palsy, since I have to use a chair, I'm so used to like having to stare up at people.
Oh, okay.
So when I'm on the horse, it's like a totally different like view and like perspective of the world. So yeah, it's an incredible feeling for sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Lisa, that must make you feel pretty good.
You know what? It's a blessing that we can do this. And the beauty and the dynamics of the horse replicate the walking pattern of the human.
Okay.
So the horse's pelvis and hips move in the same way as we do when we walk on the ground.
So that's what she was talking about.
Yes. So when someone gets up there and who maybe has a break in the ability to process that walking pattern, or they knew it once before in their life and then might have had a spinal cord injury or a TBI, we can retrain the brain as we move that person on the horse to remember that walking pattern, and that transfers down to the ground.
Wow, that's fabulous. So what I'm getting here, and a sense from all of you, is it's a change in perspective. Dee, to go back with you, when you were saying that you not only experienced the retreat yourself, but then wanted to share it with other Gold Star moms and their siblings, and that was it for you too, right? A change in perspective?
Absolutely. And at our Gold Star Women's Retreat, I had a mother say that she remembered being a young teenager, driving in her car with the radio on and her hair blowing around, listening to the radio. And she had not had that thought in God only knows how many years. And if that moment can bring her back to that moment and who she is and how that feels, what an incredible gift.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. So, Lisa, tell us about the future of Emerald Farms. I probably don't know, right? It's an ongoing project.
Yeah.
But what's your dream for Emerald M Therapeutic Riding Center?
It's God's dream. We just are the messengers of it. There are people who have showed up at the farm that I never thought we would minister to. So every day is a new adventure. My hope is to continue to expand the programs that we currently have, as well as reaching out to other groups that may need us and we just don't know about yet. But again, that is all dependent on our funding and the capabilities to keep growing. Oh, and by the way, we refer to our horses as our four-legged angels. So we have 2 campaigns that we are currently running to help fund our horses. The first one is we are looking for our 2020 horse sponsorships to be able to sponsor a horse for the year. That horse's care for $2,000, and that will offer that person or that business a plaque on the horse's stall to say who is their sponsor for that year, as well as you will receive a portrait of the horse that you are sponsoring for your home or office, and then advertisement for the year of 2020. In a much more economical way of helping our horses is we are doing a T-shirt campaign. For a donation of $25, you can receive one of our signature T-shirts that say, I sponsored a four-legged angel at Emerald M.
That's adorable. All right, what's your website real quickly? So if someone is interested, they can go directly to it.
www.emeraldmtherapeuticridingcenter.org.
So we mentioned that this experience at your Emerald M, the therapeutic experience that people have, it changes their perspective. We also mentioned that the horses, being intuitive, they have a good sense of people that I don't know that a lot of people listening understand that. Is there a story you can share regarding a horse and an experience that you've had or someone you know that's had just really bonding with the horse?
Sure. So, Ellie, let me just reference the fact that one of a most recent research study showed that horses can recognize 17 human emotions.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot. That's a lot of human emotion. With their intuition, because them being prey animals, right, they always have to be very in tune to their environment, up close and at a distance. So their intuitions are extremely high. So I had a mom bring her daughter to us. This was about 2 years ago. They brought her carrying her over their shoulder like a sack of potatoes and basically said, "You are our last hope." And I said, "Oh, great. No pressure."
Right.
And so this child had been adopted from the Ukraine at the age of 5. When they brought her here, she was wearing 12-month clothes, weighing 18 pounds at the age of 5. She was tied to a bed in the orphanage for many years. So long and short of it, she had no concept of the use of her lower legs, right? So mom is saying, I can't be carrying her as she continues to grow. We need her to walk. We need her to walk. So I am very proud to say that after 2 years of mom being very committed to the program, this child is walking with one hand, a held assist.
Wow.
Wherever she goes, able to get into her van. And the beauty of it is this child is also 100% blind and nonverbal.
Oh, okay.
So she has no idea what a horse looks like. But she trusts that he's going to help her. And that's the type of stuff we see.
Yeah, that overcoming all those obstacles.
Yeah.
And for her just to get on and just let go and be on
it's
the
beautiful.
horse.
It's beautiful. And she was a child that really was scared of touch. Didn't know what touch really was supposed to feel like. You know, being in an orphanage and not feeling that love ever for the first 5 years of your life is a very psychologically detrimental component. So when you see her hug the horse and you see her stroke the face,
oh wow,
yeah, it melts your heart.
Yeah, I bet. Wow. I can only imagine what a day is like in your life and all of your lives. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Whew. All right. So let's see. Brianna, any last words for this program?
Just that this program has really, really changed my life, and I've been coming to them for a while now, to the point where, like, I've built such a close bond with everyone at the program, and including Miss Lisa and her family. They truly feel like family to me, and I believe that it was one of the best decisions that my family have made. So,
oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Every day that I feel it's a privilege to be able to be at Emerald M and watch God do what he does.
Thank you very much.